and welcome. This is Bloomberg Quint and we are here to wrap the markets off. What a day it has been for the benchmark indices, with the Nifty now climbing as much as 180 points and also climbing above that crucial 10,800 mark, and a lot of gains coming here as well. The likes of Axis Bank and GAIL India leading the charge, but we have to remember the bulk of the strength is coming in from heavyweights such as Reliance Industries, State Bank of India and Infosys. All of them are advancing in trade and all of them giving quite a bit of support when it comes to the Nifty. On the losing end, that really isn't too much, but if say for something like Yes Bank, Zee Entertainment, Bajaj Finserv bearing down on the index, but on the whole, it's certainly been a day in which we have seen good gains come through. Let's talk about the broader markets then. And well, there has been a reversal of the market breadth when it comes to the NSE 500 as well. 3 gainers with 2 losers. Venky's India locked in an upper circuit of 20%, followed by Avanti Feeds. A whole host of other aqua stocks also doing well. So you do have the likes of Waterbase, or for that matter, something like an Apex Food also advancing in trade. EIH, HEG and Graphite continue their uptrend, both locked in an upper circuit of 10%. KIOCL, Kaplan Point, Indiabulls Ventures, all advancing in trade. On the losing end, Divan Housing Finance, one of the few that continues to move and grind downwards, now at 136. Ajanta Pharma had a very, very poor trading session too, followed by Vigar Industries and SJVN, along with Adani Green Energy, all declining in trade. What do we make of this move? What can we expect as we move into the union budget tomorrow? Let's bring in our markets editor Neeraj Shah to give us his perspective. Neeraj, what are your thoughts now? How do things stand?
It's just difficult to, I think the market setup is clear. The market has clearly shown its hand, not too perturbed by the budget tomorrow. The global rally fueling the market today. You probably see no other reason why we would have arguably the best day, best pre-budget day in almost many years. I think 2015 we had a 1.85% move. Today the Sensex moving about 1.85, so near about that kind of a gain. So no other reason but for the global markets. They are a bit subdued, by the way. The Dow futures were very, very flat as we shut shop, so don't quite know what happens thereof. But the markets will probably be a bit circumspect ahead of some announcements tomorrow. Again, had it been a full budget, maybe the markets would have been a lot more nervous. But good moves, broad-based move today. Would reckon that even if there were some gyrations tomorrow, in a day or two the markets would shrug them off and then move on normal course. So, well, the going is good for the time being. Let's hope it lasts, from a bull's perspective at least.
Absolutely, yes, sure. Neeraj, thank you for that perspective. We'll be watching out for that big budget session, of course, tomorrow. But where are the technicals standing here? Let's bring in a market expert, Rahul Randeria, for his cues on the technicals. Rahul, thanks for joining us. How are you reading cues on the Nifty now? 10,830, strength coming?
Yeah, good evening, Agam. If you look at the daily charts on the Nifty, last 3 days of candle, 2 have been a high wave candle. Today has been a very strong bullish candle. So definitely the momentum has been very strong at the lower levels. And now in the last 4 months, if we see, the Nifty trading band had been around 10,550 on the Nifty spot, and on the upside 10,985.
Correct.
It is on the upper side. Now currently it is just on the midway. So definitely the volumes are shooting up. And the most important thing is the heavyweights are participating in the rally.
Correct.
So that would pull the Nifty and Bank Nifty as well as on the upside. Now tomorrow being a budget day, we could see wild swings into the markets throughout the day. So definitely any pullback from the current level, to be precise on Nifty, if it comes down to maybe 10,740 or 10,760 on the Nifty spot, one should accumulate, buy Nifty. And if anybody wants to take a positional call, maybe for 10-15 days, I feel that Nifty can test the level of 10,985 to 10,999, which has been a major resistance. On the downside, positionally, one should keep a stop loss below 10,660. Now, if we talk about Bank Nifty, again, the heavyweight stocks in the Bank Nifty component has been started participating in the last couple of days. And on the daily charts also, we have seen 2 dojis and today a very strong candle. So again, as I said, that tomorrow would be highly a volatile session. Any pullback towards 27,000, maybe 1% or 1.25% correction on intraday basis should use to buy on the lower side. One should place a strict stop loss below 26,800 Bank Nifty spot, and on the upside positionally I feel that Bank Nifty can test the level of 27,700. So definitely one should use a buy and dip strategy for maybe short to medium term.
Okay, Rahul, thank you for joining us and taking us through the levels that we need to watch out for. So that's as far as the benchmarks are concerned. But let's talk about a stock which is under pressure. That's this Dewan Housing Finance. It continues to weaken and will move to lower levels. We have Yatin Mota who's joining us to give us an update on the same. Yatin, it's not just the poisonous snake, it's plenty of animals now bearing down on this one.
Yeah, almost 16-17% down for that one, closing at the day's low. And more importantly, after the Cobra Port expose, we have seen in general the NBFC space under pressure and Dewan Housing underperforming the entire NBFC space. Today I was just looking at the list of NCDs issued by Dewan Housing. 4 or 5 NCDs got traded on the stock exchanges, and these NCDs are almost up to 30% lower than the face value, and that is a cause of concern given the fact that all of these bonds are of face value 1,000, trading at sub 700, and more importantly the yields are more higher despite the fact that these are all AAA rated bonds, and nearly 47% odd of Dewan Housing Finance's liability side comes in from the debt capital markets, which includes commercial papers also and NCDs also. So given the fact that a lot of pressure is happening not only on the equity side but also on the debt side for Dewan Housing, so something important that we'll be watching out for on Dewan Housing.
Sure, absolutely, Yatin. Thank you for joining us and getting us those details. Dewan Housing Finance, and besides that, a bunch of earnings too. And we have Sharad Dubey who's joining us to give us an update on the same. Sharad, I think one of them is Dabur. Good earnings coming through, steady?
Yes, steady earnings is coming through, and it was in line with estimates. But what we should look at is the volume growth, which was up by almost 12.4%, beating the estimates of around 8 to 10 odd percent. Apart from this, the margins have remained more or less flat at 20 odd percent, with the consumer care segment going up by around 13 odd percent. But Agam, one thing we should note is the company has announced that Mohit Malhotra will be the next CEO of the company with effect from April 1. He's currently the CEO of the India business of the company, and he will be replacing Sunil Duggal. So Sunil Duggal has been the CEO since 2002. Over this period, the company has grown by leaps and bounds, as we know. And this move is actually a part of a succession plan which is being undertaken by the company. And Sunil Duggal will remain the director since till 2020. Apart from this, the one thing which we should actually look out for is tomorrow's budget, and this stock will also be in focus, especially in the rural market segment, which will gain pace on back of a fiscal stimulus package. Apart from this, I think IFB Industries has come out with a good set of numbers, but the margins were really affected with the raw materials going up by almost 24 odd percent. But the home appliance section did well and it increased by around 30 odd percent to around 556 odd crore rupees. So I think these two stocks were buzzing in the earnings space today, Agam.
Fair enough. Sharad, thank you for bringing us those details. Of course, as Sharad has mentioned, that the consumption space in general will be very important tomorrow and in focus given the union budget, the interim union budget tomorrow. So we'll be watching out for a whole host of these cues. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets. But lots more lined up, especially the budget coverage. So stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint and we'll keep bringing you more.